In episode 4 of the first season of HBO's Euphoria, created by Sam Levinson, we get the sequence which introduces the audience to the setting the episode will take place in. The show explores high school teens navigating sex, drugs, trauma, social media, and how it affects their relationships with their friends and loved ones. The sequence features a 2-minute long take that is actually 5 different shots. So why do it in one take? Other than the fact that it looks cool, 2 primary reasons long takes are often used are information and atmosphere. Let's look at the start of the shot. Cinematographer Marcel Rev starts off the shot, creating a sense of anticipation. Using camera movement, the camera slowly pushes into the truck window. The window takes up most of the shot, drawing our attention to it, and leaves us wondering where we are. Then Fezco opens the window to reveal the colorful lights and swirling rides of the carnival. Now we know where we are. The shot reveals the colorful lighting of the carnival, helping to ground the more surreal lighting used to highlight characters' emotional states, a method Levinson has utilized over the entire course of the show. Here we get one of our first transitions from one character to another without them relating to one another. We get a lot more of these later in the shot. Levinson uses his long take and consistent camera movement to show how interconnected these characters really are. This carnival helps to capture this drama of high school by placing all the characters in a place where they could bump into each other at any moment. The shot utilizes long dolly tracks, as does the rest of the episode in the series. This movement helps show how high school life is always moving both physically and emotionally. In these smaller communes of people, your drama will end up connecting to someone else's. In this shot alone, we see Fezco and Rue near each other after having a falling out where Rue was desperate for drugs that Fez wouldn't sell to her. If this was done in a cut, we would lose the sense of flow and connection the shot creates. You could think the carnival is large enough to allow these characters space from one another, but Levinson reveals this simply isn't the case. This lack of space is the drama the show runs off of. The highest rated episodes all have our characters come together in one location because they live in a small suburb where, despite their problems with one another, they cannot escape each other. Here we get confirmation that Jules is here at the carnival. Rue and Jules aren't exactly solid and their relationship was becoming less platonic, but they start the episode apart, confirming a tension between Jules and Rue after Rue kissed Jules last episode. The choice Jules makes to go after Rue, leaving Kat, who came to the carnival with her, shows her forgiveness and love for Rue.
With this Ferris wheel or that Ferris wheel.
Here we understand who Maddie has been talking to and the tensions between her and Nate. The shot already shows us how Maddie is dressed confidently and extravagantly, which dismays Nate as this is a community event for his family. This idea of community is shown through the long take, as it can find almost all of our main characters without exploiting the power of editing to jump across the space. The long take stops for the first time to center the episode's main source of tension that will affect Nate and Maddie for the rest of the season, as well as everyone else who goes to East Highland. The abrupt stillness not only makes the conversation easier to focus on, but holding on the wide angle in the long take shows the lack of intimacy of this moment. The framing of it also shows how much taller Nate is, which in some ways plays into the reality of their physical relationship, as Nate can and desires to control Maddie physically. Maddie, of course, rebels against this, and the long shot later sets up where Maddie can fight back against Nate's controlling temper. Continuing the long shot of their conversation forces us to watch the misogyny thrown at Maddie in this scene. Combined with how it's framed, it shows the lack of intimacy as we watch this toxic relationship continue to play out without a cut to give us any sense of relief. To finish the long take, Levinson establishes the presence of Cal. This continues to increase the dramatic tension as we know Cal and Jules had a sexual encounter and neither of them would want to be revealed to the world. But Cal, as someone who's now committed an act of pedophilia, will be especially tense when Jules orders chili from their booth later in the episode.
You asked me, she's a distraction.
This line is a great use of situational irony, considering how distracted Cal will be by Jules simply asking for a cup of chili later in the episode. And the long take sets this all up by establishing the presence of the chili booth that Cal's family has set up. All these future encounters we see later in the episode between Maddie and Nate, Nate and Jules, Rue and Jules, Jules and Cal, Kat and Ethan, and Fezco selling Cassie and Maddie Molly are all set up by this shot. If this omniscient camera can scan through this carnival and find all of our characters without jumping through the space using the power of editing, then they can find each other as well.